before that, I saw the Marfa Lights.
I've never seen them, man. Of course, I've only been out that way once or twice, but I hear that they're a little bit elusive, so I failed to even try last time I was out there, but
oh man,
I'd love to see them.
The first time I went out there, I went out with a band called the Secret Machines.
I remember that name.
And I just hopped in an RV with them and went down to Marfa because they were playing the Chianti Foundation festival thing that was going on. And we got there. It was beautiful, such a good vibe, like extreme happiness, like just being filled with happiness, just getting there. It was really cool vibe. And then one of the nights we were there, I think it was maybe the last night we were there, we went out to see the lights. Let's go out to the lookout point and see if they're there. You know, so like there's probably 10 or 11 of us. I always say it's me and like 10 other people, group of friends. And we get out there and it's an active night for the lights.
Wow.
And people always tell me, oh, I went out there and I saw the lights. They're headlights. There's nothing to it. You know, they're just headlights in the desert, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no. I did see ones that look like headlights, but they were like, I think you'll understand this, like being a musician. It was like there's a highway that you're on. So like, you look to the right, there's a highway, and you look to the left, there's the highway, and then there's just desert in front of you.
Yeah.
And so the highway kind of comes over some hills and a little bit winding. So you see these headlights coming on the road, but then a few seconds later, you see headlights mirroring those headlights on the road, but they're way out in the desert, and they are.
Oh, that's incredible.
And they're delayed, like there's a delay.
Yeah.
So the real headlights will make a move, and then a few seconds later, like they're being, like there's a time warp or something there, and then there's like a mirage in the desert.
Yeah.
But it's delayed. It's not totally with it, you know.
They're making some kind of impression on the environment around them.
Right, and we had just been told a story, and I got this guy's number a couple of days ago. I need to remember to call him. There was this old man in Marfa. I'll tell you more about my experience, but there was this old man there that he made this prickly pear moonshine wine. This beautiful purple wine. And he made it out of, like he went out in the desert and picked the prickly pears himself and then made this awesome drink you don't get hungover from.
Wow.
And just super good vibes. The whole thing was awesome. And then so we were in a really good mood. The old man had this story, or a few stories, but one of the things was that there was a Army base, Navy military base, airfield out there at the lookout point right there. And it's abandoned. But he said it had to close in the 40s because the lights would come down at night and turn the runway lights off and then imitate. They would imitate the runway lights, but in the wrong place. And it would be over like a ditch or like rocky and cactus terrain. So the military was landing, and like all the landing gear on the planes was getting destroyed. So they couldn't keep losing planes like that. And they couldn't explain what was going on, so they just closed the base. But so we're out there standing on the edge of the base, looking out over the desert, and there's these red. You know, we all have seen these like towers. They have like red lights on them, like going up and down, but they just blink on and off.
Yeah.
But you can see the tower. So there's these set of towers out there with those red lights blinking on and off. But every once in a while there'd be like more red lights that were imitating like they would just like, all of a sudden there'd just be more towers, but you couldn't see the towers, you just see the lights. But the real towers, you could see the towers, so they were just like mocking them.
Yeah.
And then those lights that were out there with the towers that were mocking the towers became orbs of different colors. Like there was, I'm remembering red, green. I think it was like the red was kind of like an orange red, and then I think there might have been a blue color. But there were different colored orbs. There's probably about between 5 and 7 of them. I don't remember counting, but seems like about that many. But it was like kind of like how your mom said the frisbees kind of were in a triangle, and I can envision it how, like, if one moved, the others have like a movement that matches it. It's like if one light moved, it's like it was in lock with another one. Like it's like they were dancing or playing. And sometimes they would come together and like spin around each other and then become one. And then it would break off into like a whole bunch of different ones and spread out. And then if one would disappear, literally the same exact second that it would disappear, it would reappear like a mile off to the left or something.
Oh, man. And
then travel back to the group and then meet the others and spin with one and spread out, and then like, I don't know, there's like these, I call them geometric shapes, but they were like I said, if one moved, there'd be others. It's like they were connected somehow, but there wasn't like a visible connection. It's like you move your elbow and your hand, they move together, kind of like that.
They like
equidistance, and it's hard to explain.
Yeah.
It's like a magnetic lock between them or something.
They're entangled.
Yeah, it's just like they were dancing, they were playing. But that was what was going on in my mind. I walked, like, my group of friends were all there like, look at that, that's weird. Like, what is that? And then they were all kind of laughing about stuff. And I just remember really looking at them and just, like, looking at the details. Like, they're white balls of light, but there's, like, colored lightning. Like, watery sort of lightning just, like moving around inside of them real fast. And then I walked probably 30 yards maybe, like, towards the lights, and so now the group of people is behind me, and I'm looking at the lights really intently, like, what are those things? Like, studying them. And I remember thinking, they're having fun. They are playing.
Right.
They're having a good time. And then I heard a voice coming from behind me, like a female voice. I don't know who said it, but somebody said, they say if you put your mind out to them that they'll come to you. And so without even giving it a second thought, I just did that. Like, I just paused and sent my mind out there to them. And when I did that, it was almost like weird, because I just didn't give it any thought. It just happened. And I felt like there was sort of a connection, and then I was filled with a super joyful, like, kind of silly, happy feeling.
Yeah.
And then I turned around and I looked at my friends, and I don't know what made me say this, but I just said, without even thinking, I was just like, hey, y'all, I'm going to do a little jig, and they're going to come this way. And I turned around and I looked at one of them, and I did, like, the most silly, goofy jig, like a cartoon hillbilly, while looking at this light that was playing with these other ones. And right when I did that, that thing started just hauling right towards us, like beeline, like just coming right for us really, really fast. And I heard screams, and I turned around and looked, and all my friends are screaming and running back to the car. And I'm out there just standing by myself, and I turn around, and I'm thinking, I'm not going to run. I'm the one that, like, said it's coming over here, so I'm going to stand here and greet. This is all like a split second. Like, everything's happening real fast. So this thing's coming for us. My friends are running. I'm looking at it, and kind of, again, like, this is incredible, like trying to make sense of it, sort of in disbelief. Yeah. And then I thought that was cool and happy, but then, because I was still feeling that sort of giddiness, and then I broke from that moment, I was in the moment completely, and I sort of broke from it, and then imagined what was going to happen when it got to me. And my brain automatically was like, is it going to kill my friends? Is it going to kill me? Is it going to take me to space, and my friends are going to have to tell my parents that this light showed up and took me away? All these scenarios went through my head, and I felt fear all of a sudden, and I took a gasp, but when I did that, that thing stopped on a dime, like it just stopped and was hovering there, probably about 100 feet off the ground. And then all the other ones that it was playing with stopped was like they stopped playing. It was like they were watching. And they were all on the horizon where they were playing before. And then the one had come towards us and probably got about, let's say it's about 2.5 miles away to begin with. It probably got about halfway and maybe a little bit closer than halfway, and it stopped when I gasped. And then I started pleading with it. Like, I'm not, like in my mind, I'm like, I'm not scared. You can keep coming. You know, please don't stop. You know, don't go away. Don't go away. Don't go. Don't go. Don't. I remember just like sort of pleading with it. And it was the weirdest. I'd never seen anything like this before that. I'd never seen a fog roll in. Like, it literally was like a wave,
wall.
like a wall of fog just like rolled in from the distance. And all the lights that were out there in the distance like traveled into the fog and disappeared. And then there was just the one left, like sitting there hovering. I felt like it was watching me, and I was looking at it, and I was sort of pleading with it, don't go, don't go. And it's probably there for another, maybe in like a minute. And it just folded into, like it just crumbled or folded into nothing, like and disappeared. Didn't fly away, it just crumbled. Wherever it was, it just went into, like it got sucked into a hole that was just where it was, you know?
Yeah.
Really, really weird. And then,
man,
I turned around and met back up with my friends. Oh, wow. Like, we're all really, like, they were probably scared, but I was super, like, excited, but being chill. And then the lights were gone at that point. And we're like, I wonder if they're coming back. You know, we probably waited about another 15 or 20 minutes, and they didn't come back. And the weird thing is we didn't talk about it after that. It was really, really strange.
Yeah.
Didn't talk about it for a long time.
That's one of the most beautiful sort of high strangeness accounts that I think I've ever heard.
Oh,
that's incredible.
Thanks. Yeah. The lesson is really strange because I didn't think about it in these terms at the time. It's weird how, like, you just sort of move on with life. But I'd never stopped thinking about it. And I had some friends traveling through, and they stopped here, and they're from California, and they were traveling with a bunch of dogs, like chihuahuas, like baby chihuahuas. And so they brought in their dog family, these chihuahuas and these baby chihuahuas. And I've got a really super friendly dog. So my friends and I are talking in the living room. These dogs are there, but the dogs are real cautious. You know, like chihuahuas can be kind of, I'm not so sure about you. And then, kind of skittish. But they were curious. Like, they were checking me out. They were checking my dog out. Like, you could see them, like, were real curious. They want to know about my dog. They, you know, they keep looking at me like, are you cool? Like, are you cool? And I noticed my dog, like, was getting attention from one. Like, this one was curious, and my dog was walking up like, hi. And it scared the puppy, so the puppy kind of backed up, and my dog, and it's how I am with dogs. If dogs act scared, I stop, you know, like, oh, I don't have to pet you, and like walk away. I turn around and walk away, like I'm not a threat. So I watched my dog do that with the puppy. My dog was like, yeah, I'll come smell your butt or whatever. And then the puppy got scared, and then my dog just immediately just like turned and was like, I'm gonna go over here and lay down. This little light went off in my head. And I wasn't even thinking about the Marfa Lights at the time. They popped into my head all of a sudden. I was like, oh, it was like that dog showing fear made my dog go, well, I'm not going to hurt you.
Right.
And so that is just
kind of like extra verbal exchange happening.
Yeah, it was just like this. Yeah, there's no reason to be afraid. And I'm gonna go away so you don't be afraid.
Yeah.
And that's sort of, you know, and I've heard that from other people in my I've been doing these interviews for about a year, a little more, and
about the Marfa Lights.
Kind of like, no, not about them specifically, no. But this guy that I know and I talked to for the show in Oregon said that he was by a river and he and his friends, he said it's happened more than once, like a UFO, like a flying saucer, lands kind of nearby where they are, and a little guy gets out, about 2 feet tall, and starts walking to them, and they start going into not literally cardiac arrest, but they start freaking out. And like all three of them got a message, like you're gonna have a cardiac arrest. I'm gonna go. You have to get your fear under control.
Yeah.
Really, from what I've heard from other people too that have experienced with contact, say that the fear is too intense for them because they're got this telepathy. They know what you're thinking before you can say it. They know what you're feeling or what you're. So it's so amplified and intense for them to experience your fear, and plus it might be dangerous for them. They don't know.
Oh, right, yeah. How you're going to react.
Yeah, that's how it's been explained to me. That, and then other people will say like that's a message that they'll get from, like, yeah, you've got to control that fear.
Yeah.
Not we're not here to hurt you. Not specifically that message, but that's the overall arcing message.
Right. It's the intent that's trying to be conveyed.
Yeah, it's more of a curiosity and a friendship, sort of mutually beneficial, learning from each other sort of thing.
Right.